notice. And thank you all for joining. We have two items on our agenda this evening, and with everyone's indulgence, we're going to take them out of order because we're waiting for the commissioner for the Woodley Park project to join us. So let's start, if we could, with Newark Street project, and happy to welcome back again the architects for that, Ralph Cunningham and Caroline Arbor. And this is the second time we'll be looking at this project. The applicant and its architect had gone back and had modified plans somewhat, as we'll see this evening, in response to comments from the HPO staff as well as the community. So, Ralph, are you ready to present?
I'm here and I'm ready.
Okay.
I just sent a request to share screen.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And
I can see it at least.
great. So, once again, we're looking at revised plans for 3034 Newark Street Northwest, and I see also the homeowner is here and joined us.
Good.
Welcome.
Good. Well, thank you for having us again. I'm Ralph Cunningham from Cunningham Quill here in Washington. With me is Caroline Arbor, who is the project architect with me. We have had, over the last few weeks, we've had very productive meetings with the HPO staff, with neighbors, et cetera, and we have made substantive changes to the project based on their input. So again, we're presenting the same project on Newark Street, and I think you're familiar with what it looks like. Next. So these are context photos. One thing that's important to note is that Ross Place and Macomb is at the bottom of the page here. There's a very significant grade change between those two streets. That's the sort of Cleveland Park Ridge that runs through there. Next. And these are various other precedents, including garage entrances around Cleveland Park. Next. There we go. HPO asked us to look at other houses in Cleveland Park with turrets. So these are some that we found. Next. And this was an image that was found by HPO staff of the house at the time it was built. One of the things that we are doing as a part of this project is a first class preservation project. This house was owned for a very long time, over 50 years, by the previous owner. Over time, they did various things to the house, like covering up windows, enclosing porches, putting aluminum siding on the house. So our goal is to restore the front of the house to this appearance. And we are doing some forensic examination, removing some siding, that sort of thing, in order to try to find out what was there. Next. These are various views from the front and the sides. It's very difficult to see the sides of this house because of the context. And I think the next image is probably the rear. There it is. And so you get a sense of what the what the view from the back of the house is. There's very large retaining wall existing, which we are going to keep. And you can see that this is a hard house to see, and I think we have another image from Ross Place coming next. No, that's not from Ross Place, but that's from the driveway, and shows some of the original details of the porch. Where we can, we are going to disassemble that porch, the rear porch, and reuse some of the parts. This, as I said earlier, is a view from Ross Place. And if you look on the right image, the sort of cloudy white part, top part of the photo is our project. So very densely forested, and we have no plans to do anything in the ravine. This is the existing site plan. You can see the houses adjacent. You can also see the retaining wall in the dark line kind of at the bottom of the drawing. Next. And then you see the addition, which is on the bottom right. This site has a very limited area to build on because of the topography, the setbacks, etc. So we are placing our addition on the existing driveway, which is currently relatively flat, in order to create the new program for the house, which is the sort of general Cleveland Park addition, kitchen, family, master bedroom, some changes in the basement, and just sort of general modernization, which, as I mentioned, the house has not had in at least 50 years. Next. So this is the front elevation from Newark Street. We've added the adjacent houses for context. You get a sense of the slope of Newark Street down towards Connecticut Avenue, which would be on the left. And also you see the way that we've articulated this addition to make it quite a bit or subservient to the main house. The main house is on the right in the gray. The addition is to the left. And one of the comments that came to us from the previous design was about articulating the addition similar to the way the house is. The house, generally has a one-story-ish stone base. Above that is the porch level, which has a series of skirt roofs. And then there's a more sort of solid body of the house above. We've also worked on the shape of the roof to reduce its height, and we have pulled the roof away from the turret. Next. And so these are plans. This is just the basement plan. You see the new garage on the bottom right and various internal changes to the house. The edge that is against our addition of the existing house, and we saw some pictures earlier, is really quite rough. And so that will be the area that we will be covering up and putting new stone walls in where it is visible. Next. And then here you see the main floor plan and the kitchen and the dining room on the right. There is a bow-shaped deck across the back. Of course, the views are lovely from here. It projects no more than about 7 feet in the middle, and it would be at 0 at the two ends where it tapers. Next. And then upstairs, there's a new master bedroom and various other bedroom changes. This is a family with 2 children and a large extended family. Next. And then on the top floor, the changes are really fairly minimal. We are not adding new space up there. We're really just kind of clearing it out. And then you see the roof plan on the right of the addition. Next. And then this very complicated drawing is the roof plan of the addition and the existing house. It is a complicated roof. We're keeping the dormers. We're pulling away from that, and we're also pulling away from the turret next. And so here's a drawing that just shows an elevation, including the driveway, and I think that's going to get a little clearer in the next drawing. Next. Yeah, so here's where we've articulated the addition quite a bit compared to what you saw the last time. You see the stone base of the addition, which has trellis panels on it. We've been working with that neighbor to develop a mutually approvable or acceptable landscape plan against that wall. You may remember that which was pretty much of an unarticulated blank wall before. So now it's broken down into the three parts. And the master bedroom at the top is set back about 2 feet from the floor below, which is the kitchen floor. Next. And then in the rear, the addition again is on the right. The existing rear of the house is a kind of mishmash of various things. On the left, there is a new screen porch in what is currently, well, was a dining room, was a porch, has been a lot of things. Going back to being a porch again, the large or the wide balcony that runs all the way across the back, and then the master bedroom on the right. And then you also see here the breaking down of the scale with the pitched roofs, the little skirt roofs that run around the house. Next. And then this is the side that has probably changed the least. The screen porch is on the right. Not many changes. I will point out, though, that the very nice bay window that you see there is currently covered up from the interior. And they probably did that for some kind of energy conservation. And so we're going to expose that and restore it, and it will now be a window in the new office. Next. And then this is a section really through the driveway. You can see the gentle slope. Again, there is a driveway on this site now. There's an existing curb cut. And so we are putting a garage on what is currently a driveway and a little bit of garden space that they have now with the addition above it. Next. And then this is, I think the last slide is our perspectives of the addition in the kind of blue-gray against the existing house. And Caroline, is that the last slide?
Yes.
All right, very good. So I will leave it there and open ourselves for questions. And as you mentioned, Rick, the owners are here too.
Great. Before I get to questions, I would just invite the owners if they want to say anything. Don't have to, but give you that opportunity.
Hi. I think Ralph has done a really nice job presenting the overview, and I also just want to say thanks to all of our neighbors. We've had really constructive and wonderful conversations, and I think our project has actually become so much better because of their feedback.
Well, good. Thanks for that. And I know it's always good when there's outreach to neighbors and an applicant works with the HPO staff and neighbors to try to improve a project and lessen impacts. I just have a couple of questions. So first, what is can you remind me what the side setback is or will be?
It's 8 feet.
8 feet. Okay. And so the setback, I take it on the property to the east is much less than that because I thought on the drawing it said the distance between the houses would be 12 feet and something.
That's correct. So they are about 4 feet off the property line.
Okay. Secondly, I did get a note from your colleague, Ms. Arbor, noting, as you said, that the applicant does not plan to build in the ravine. And,
Correct.
we've heard from a couple of neighbors expressing some concern about that, or at least a possible plan before. And, given that the HPRB has, had some decisions that have basically identified the ravine as something worthy of scrutiny and protection. First wanted to thank the applicants for that, because it's an important feature of that area. Um, One question I had, and this is not really a preservation or architectural question, but I did notice in the plans or the slides, and I think it's apparent on slide 13 and 10, and maybe on 7, and you don't need to flip back to it. But I noticed that the garage, I'll call it the garage addition, the one to the,
Mhm.
is going to be built quite close to the retaining wall behind. Um, and I would estimate that wall must be at least 10 feet, maybe higher, and hard to estimate from the plans, but maybe the addition would come within 2, 3 feet of that wall. Maybe I'm misreading, but how would you advise, and how would a contractor ensure that that wall is shored up and is not going to be disturbed or undermined
Right.
from?
It's a great question, and obviously something we're very concerned about. Your timing is perfect, Rick, because the geotechnical engineer was there today digging test pits. So we're doing a very careful scientific analysis of that wall, and we're also going to work with the adjacent neighbor. With the wall continues onto their property, so there's going to be quite a lot of cooperation. Um, what's behind that wall right now is kind of uncontrolled fill.
Mhm.
So we're gonna get a lot more information, and of course be very, very careful with it, and shore it appropriately.
Okay, and is there much excavation of the, you know?
There's some. I mean, it's probably. I mean, if you think about it, there's probably 4 feet, maybe 4 to 6 feet coming out off there. And if you think about that as soil that is putting lateral pressure on the wall now, we're actually removing that. So our goal is to put all of the structure so that it's a vertical load, not a horizontal load. I realize it's getting a little technical, but we will have a very we believe that we will have a dramatically improved wall when we're done, because right now sort of nobody knows what it is. Um, so we're going to do quite a lot of investigation to figure that out, and again in cooperation with the neighbors.
Okay, thanks very much. Let me see if
Rick, I just
here's
want to say that it- you're going into means and methods, and like if you're going to put that in the letter, don't do that because the ANC should not go into means and methods and geotech
Yeah.
well,
consideration. Just like that's danger
Heather,
heavy, and I don't want that
I've heard,
liability.
well, excuse me, I've heard from, one neighbor who had expressed concern about, whether about the integrity of the wall with building close to it. And it sounds like the applicant and their architect and the engineer are on it.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
a
the
big, it's a
Department of
big
Building.
wall. Well, but it's a big wall and it's on a high slope. And if the wall were to be undermined and tumble, there could be effects elsewhere. So it seems
Yep.
they're on it. So I was going to see if other commissioners had questions, and then after that, we'll see if any community members want to speak. I don't see any hands and I don't hear any questions from the commission. Are there any community members who wish to raise a question or speak to this application? Again, I'm not seeing any. Going once, going twice. Okay, well, thank you very much. This is helpful.
Wait, Are you going to go over next steps?
Yes, if you let me finish. Um, so the commissioner for this particular SMD isn't here, but I will be speaking with him. And given that I think we heard from the community last time, but you've met with the community since, and we don't hear any more views tonight. After I talk to the commissioner, it's my expectation that we will see if we can move this on the consent calendar.
Right.
And we'll let you know hopefully in 2 or 3 days if that is so, but that would be my expectation at this point.
Right. And I just want to, and thank you. I just want to say that our client Salman and Yasmin have done really just a great job of reaching out to neighbors, and it's become quite a cooperative project. So as Yasmin said, it's the community outreach has really improved the project. So we're grateful for that.
Okay, well, thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, let's move on to the next application, and I'll hand it over to Galen Kripke.
Oh, thank you so much, Rick. First, I want to make an apology. I was having some technical trouble at the beginning of the meeting, so I missed the very beginning. Thank you for carrying on without me. And I'm in a slightly noisy place, so if I have any trouble, just let me know, and I'll try to speak up or something. So, we are going to consider a project in my SMD. The project is on 29th Street. I think we have the architect with us to present the project, and maybe also the property owner to talk about it. James, are you here? Are you able to speak? If you are, you're on mute. I see you here, but it looks like you're on mute.
I'm Maria Gold. I'm the property owner.
Hi, Maria. Welcome. James, I see you, but you seem to be on mute.
Are we unmuted now?
Now I can hear you well. James, you asked me if I could pull up the documentation. So I have it ready to share when you're ready.
All right. So let's go ahead and pull up the existing photos.
Okay. Give me a second.
All right. While
I'm
you're
sharing.
doing that, good evening, everyone. I'm
yeah, go
James
ahead.
Lazowski, the architect and contractor for the artist studio addition that we're proposing above the existing garage at 2829 29th Street Northwest. And I'm also being joined by Maria Fernandez Gold, the artist and owner for who we're hoping to build this studio for. So let's proceed here. We're looking at the isometric drawings for the proposed addition. On the left is the existing garage as viewed from the courtyard between the house and the garage. And then on the right is the view of what we're proposing to build on top of the existing garage. We're basically going up one story. We want to extend the white brick up another story and continue with a flat roof with parapet walls on the sides. What you're seeing in the isometric drawing, there's a group of 3 large windows that overlook the existing parking pad that is next to the existing garage. And then what you're seeing on the front is actually what faces into the courtyard. It's a pair of French doors going out onto a balcony and a spiral stair coming down to the elevation of the parking pad, and then continuing downstairs into the existing courtyard. If you want to go to the next page, sheet A01. Okay, these are the plans for the 10 by 20 space that we're going to add up on top of the existing garage. The one at the top of the page, right in the middle, shows the artist studio space with a small bathroom in the corner. Being that Maria is a painter, it's important to be able to clean things up. So we also have an artist sink in there and just a small bathroom area. Let's go to the next sheet. Okay, these are the elevations. The one at the top in the middle with the 3 windows again is the extension up on top of the brick, large windows overlooking the parking pad. You can see the spiral stair coming down onto the right side, onto the parking pad elevation. And then down below that is the elevation that you would see from the alley, showing the existing garage door, panels above that door, and then continuing brick up, and then higher windows facing due east for the morning light, which is very important for Maria's painting. And then what you're seeing over to the left of that is the elevation that overlooks the courtyard with the French doors and spiral stair. Okay, so let's go down to the next sheet. All right. This is showing a cross section through the existing garage and then the artist studio up above with the connection and the spiral stair. And basically what we're doing is we're continuing the vocabulary of the existing white brick garage up into the addition and capped off by a flat roof. We do have an overhang over the spiral stair for weather protection and a flat roof, which is a pretty traditional vocabulary for these kinds of buildings.
You want to see the photos?
Do you have the photos? They
I think I do. I do. So I think I'm gonna have to stop sharing this, and then I can share the photos. Here are the photos. Are they? Can you see them?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the one right in the middle actually is the street facade from 29th Street. That's the main townhouse, but the addition is on the garage in the back. So if you look at those photos to the left, the one on the bottom, you can see right there. Okay, there you go. What you see right pretty much in the middle of that photo is the single car garage that we're going to be adding directly above. The garage on the left is the neighbor on the slightly downhill side. And then on the right hand side of the garage is the parking pad and the entry gate. And there's a lovely tree in the other neighbor's yard that would then be something that the artist studio would look over onto, as well as the parking pad area. And again, the addition is going to be white brick, primarily to keep with the existing vocabulary. This is pretty typical of the garages that you see going up and down the alley behind 29th Street. And then just some other photographs from inside the courtyard, looking at the existing, there you go. They have a very nice walkout courtyard from the first floor of the main house. And then you're looking across that courtyard and then steps going up to the parking pad on the left. and then the back wall of the existing garage. That is pretty much where the spiral stair is going to come down. And then this picture shows the retractable green awning that was added a few years prior. We are going to reuse that and attach it to the addition once we extend that up. So that will be maintained and reused. And at this time, if anyone has any questions.
Well, just to say, from this view, which is the street view, this project is basically not visible from the street. It's only really in the back. So in terms of the historic preservation review, that it's not relevant from the front facade as far as I can tell. So it's really only from the alley view. Is that right?
That's correct. And we have spoken with the neighbors a few months back, and these drawings were shown to them, and there was a letter notifying them of what we're going to do, and I sat down with them and explained everything. We actually opened up the neighbor's garage and walked around and explained everything that we're doing in terms of the party wall.
Great, thank you. Maria, do you want to say anything here?
I've been in DC since 1985, so I know the regs for neighborhoods are really stringent, and we were very thoughtful about all of the choices we made so that it would not impact. We have other neighbors that have second story units, and I've been working in the basement for some years, and I just really like to get some light in, some natural light. So.
Great. Well, we definitely want to support artists in the community. So that's and this is, as a amateur artist myself, I have to say it looks like a really great, really cool studio for you. Let me invite other commissioners to make any questions or comments at this point.
Just you anticipated my two questions. First, had you talked to the neighbors, particularly the one who shares the party wall? And it appears that you have. And just to be clear, have they indicated support or just neutrality at this point?
They're in support of what we're doing. We walked around their property and opened their garages, and I pretty much explained everything that we're doing in terms of construction, and we believe in a neighborly approach before we do anything, and getting everybody on board and explaining what we're going to do so that everyone's comfortable. And I've let them know if they have any concerns that they're more than welcome to talk to me. So that's where we are.
And it seems that this is not the first two-story garage on the block either.
That's correct.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
Great.
Any other commissioners?
Yeah, I mean, I know there are a number of these types of additions, especially with the spiral stair. I've walked up a few in the neighborhood. What kind of art do you do? I'm just curious. I know there's mention of painter sink. So
Yeah. I work in pretty much every medium. I do collage, large scale collages. I'm a political artist for a lot of the places in DC and a couple in New York that have purchased commissions pieces, and also encaustic, which is a beeswax, pine resin, and pigment thing from the Greeks pre like 300 BCE, I think. I work in on large canvases, so that's why we needed the double doors, so we could hike them up there and put them through the double door. But it's my life's work. So
cool. It's
Yeah.
no. Now, if you're looking to do something in the neighborhood from the ANC to install it somewhere, happy to engage in that conversation.
A
There's that.
neighborhood outreach project.
Well, we did
Yeah.
find the art sculptures that are on the lampposts up and down the avenue here,
Yeah.
including one that's by a nearby neighbor that's right here by the zoo too. There's 10 of them. So
Wow.
we like supporting that local art, and there's I don't know how interested you are in the Connecticut Avenue development guidelines, that during that process that took a few years, the Office of Planning, in collaboration with the neighborhood collectively, identified a number of places where there could be public works of art in Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, and all spaces in between on Connecticut Avenue. So
Mhm. Okay, well, I'll keep that in
yeah,
mind.
could
Oh,
be an avenue here. Not saying that your approval is contingent upon doing that, but
Well, yeah, it would be
Sounds
nice.
like you're going to be even more busy.
Yeah, that'd be okay. Busy is good.
yeah, but this I was really interested to hear about this project, and I think it's a really creative use of this space and for more creativity. So
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it.
I bet if you're working in a basement for
Yes, currently.
great.
cool guys.
So I think that's it. For Janelle's comment, I think the plan is, barring any other issue that comes up, I'll draft a letter of support, which we'll try to pass in the next ANC commission on consent, which means it won't need a specific vote. It'll be passed on block with other consent items, and then we'll send that to the Historic Preservation Board as a measure of support for the project. Again, barring any other questions or issues that come up. Go ahead.
I appreciate it.
Right.
We did have another. Did we go to the community at all? Because we did have another person
Oh,
here.
did we? Oh, my apologies. I thought I didn't notice that there were others. Yeah. Does anyone else want to speak on this?
Okay.
I see one other participant, but okay. Well, barring any other issues that come up, which I'll notify you if it does. That's the plan. Our next meeting is on October 20th. I think it is next Monday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. That concludes the presentations that we had scheduled. I just want to see if there's any other business before the committee. Okay, if not, then is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Okay. All right. Well, again, everyone, thanks so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.